To introduce Greg Heroy, Director of Ticketing at the New York Cosmos, to talk about some early successes that they've had with their restoration of this legacy that is the New York Cosmos. But Greg, before I pass over to you, I'll just say that we signed on with the Cosmos end of last summer, and they opted for our fan data platform, mobile app, sales CRM, email, and our membership solution. So, Greg, I'll now pass it over to you to talk about why you guys went with Fan360 and some of the successes that you guys have seen so far.
Yeah, Charlie, thanks for the intro and for having me. So to get started, yeah, the reason why, right? So I signed on the end of June with the Cosmos, and I think we finalized everything, whether that was August or September timeframe, with you guys with Fan360. And essentially, we had a bunch of meetings, right? We listened to a lot of different um, companies about their tech stack and what they can do and who they're integrated with. And really, every time we sat there and we listened and we said, you know, yes, maybe they can, help us with the CRM, but then where do we go from there? Or, they can help us on email marketing, but then who do we turn to for everything else? And so every time we had those conversations, we sat there and we said, Fan360 does everything in one, right? It gets that fan journey from the beginning of, how they got into our database. Did they click on a link or a form on our website? Did we meet them at an event in the community and put them in our system, import them ourselves? And so just doing everything from beginning to end, seeing how much they spent on merch, on ticket sales, getting our emails, who's opening them, what they're clicking on, what they're interested in. Again, seeing that whole fan journey from beginning to end, it just kind of was clear on who we wanted to use. And then also just knowing that one, you guys take everything for a CRM, and really, as long as it has the same email address, it's going to consolidate all those contacts into one. And that's was a pain point of mine with other CRMs where you've got 6, 7, 8 of the same contact because they went from Frank to Frankie, where their address changed. Whereas with Fan360, you guys consolidate, make it a lot cleaner so that we're not sending the same email to the same person 3 different times because there's different accounts in our system. So that was another reason. And then finally, just the mobile app, right? It's something that I feel like most teams need or should have. And it's really our website, our ticket system, and our merch shop all in one place. Plus, it does more than that. So we do Trivia Tuesdays. We also do Throwback Thursdays. So we're engaging our fans that way through our app, even before we've kicked the ball and played a game. Plus, those become sellable assets down the road to potential partners where we can show that how many people are engaging with us on those different items that we send out to them. So there's push notifications that go out. We know how many people are interacting. And again, we have a good, clear number on that. So, like I said, at the end of the day, it was something that just made sense for us to go with Fan360. So as you see here, the Cosmos, like you said, brings that name, that history, that recognition. But what it didn't bring was much in way of a database. We did have an old database from last decade. It was about 60,000 names, but again, it was 10 plus years ago. It was from Long Island, whereas now we're in Paterson, New Jersey. So we really had to kind of vet that and kind of see who was still active, which email accounts still worked, which ones, maybe they changed over to a different email. So what we did is, we kind of did a little vetting before that, but once we put it into Fan360, we were able to automate the email sequence that we sent out as our welcome email. And one, we used it for this list to kind of narrow down of, like I said, who's still engaging, who's actually receiving these emails. But then it also helped us create that welcome email moving forward. So any new fan that comes into our system, we go ahead and we send them these welcome emails. It's automated once they enter into an audience. And then based off of what they view and what they click on within that email and that welcome sequence, we can kind of put them into a different audience whether it's a family, if they're looking at season tickets, group outings, an organization, whatever it may be. We're able to then put them, like I said, into that audience to really drill down and send them future communications. In addition to that historical data, we did have a fan fest to get started here in October, and we really needed to build that local fan base. It's obviously going to be important for ticket sales moving forward, and having that fan fest, going out to other festivals and fairs in the area here when we first got started, it was important for us to get them and import them into Fan360. Is, I mean, it's as easy as can be. You just have to kind of clean up the spreadsheet a little bit. You import them in, and it's an easy way to tag where we interacted with them. So again, if it was at a festival, we could tag them that's where we met them, or put a note in once they get entered in. And so it was extremely easy, and then helps with our future communication to them. And then when we make those calls and actually get people on the phone, it's an easy way of, hey, we saw that you made it out to our fan fest. How'd you like coming to one of our events? So we're, like I said, able to interact with them, and knowing that they've come out to one of our events, they seen how we do things here with the Cosmos. Like I said, it was a very easy transition there. And then we were able to also target non-ticket holders, again, by creating that audience of anybody that doesn't have a ticket with us, but then also segment out the fact that they have a valid phone number. And so we've been able to reach out to those individuals on the list that we have, and it really helped us, narrow down, especially we drilled down even further to those that were within a certain mileage of the stadium. So we were able to do that and really kind of get that low hanging fruit off our plate early on, because again, we had the list and we were able to create the audience from there, and then drill down even further with the filters. There's hundreds of filters to really customize the audience and really kind of set it up for any type of communication that you want to send. So, like I said, it made it very simple for us to make those calls. Kind of looking at, how we were able to move forward with that. So the leads from FanFest, like I said, we now reach out to them. They're familiar with what our events look like. So now they know when we send an email, we can kind of reference that of, hey, don't forget, our experience from FanFest. That's what's going to look like on game days out here. And then also another, like I said, low hanging fruit was those that click the URLs in the emails that we send out. So we put in there, different emails, different URLs, whether that is season tickets, whether it's our mini plans, our merch. So we can go in and see who interacted with what links. And then again, it makes it very easy with that conversation, knowing where we're going to lead the call, to be able to either sell them a season ticket, a mini plan, maybe it's just a single game, but we already have that information at our disposal in the CRM system because everything is talking to each other. And then as you see here, the last screen, we do have our rewards and loyalty program. So most retailers have a loyalty program, right? You go there, you spend a certain amount of dollars, and then you get, points in return. So that's something that we wanted to roll out when we put our app out there on, live for everybody to download. So anybody that downloaded the app, we were giving a free ticket to, and so they get loyalty points and then can redeem that for a ticket to a game that they want to come out to. And then there's other prizes as they go. But again, it's just easy way to keep track of those points. And then also it helps us with our sponsors where we create a QR code. We send it to that sponsor, ask them to put it up at their location, and then we can drive fans to that partner location. So because they're going to get Cosmos loyalty points by scanning the QR code when they go to that location. So it kind of obviously it helps us because we're engaging, fans with that partner and really proving the partnership works, because we can look and see how many fans went to their location throughout the month and be able to, have an exact number to give to them that, hey, we're driving traffic to you. And then one early success that we have here, it was with our mobile app that, we've had it out for just over a month or just about a month now. And a lot of the users on there are internal, whether it's the front office staff, the players, the coaches. I think we had it out for about 2 weeks when we went live with this push here. But what we did is our home opener, have it as our Legends night, and so we have a pre-match jersey, and it's we have a very limited supply of them, and we just wanted to kind of test and see how it worked out with the mobile push notifications. So we went live 11 a.m. on our social pages, and so at 10:30 we sent a push in the app saying, "Here's our Legends Night pre-match kit. You're the first ones to view it. You have first access if you'd like to purchase it," and had the link there for them. And in those 30 minutes, we sold 7 kits, which, like I said, doesn't sound like a lot, but considering the fact that we had the app live for 2 weeks, it wasn't like we had tons and tons of people that downloaded the app. So in our eyes, that's a win, right? Like in 30 minutes, we sold 7 kits of a limited amount that we had. So we're doing that as we move forward with other pre-match kits that we're going to have. We're going to obviously send that out in the app first and really make that a priority to have the app. It's a benefit to you on top of everything else I mentioned. You get pre-access to not just this kit. I'm sure we're going to do some other specials moving forward now that we know that it works. So
Really good stuff, Greg. I appreciate you sharing. And it's been great to work with you guys. And it's awesome to see, you guys have not been live for that long, but, I would already classify you guys as super users. And it's awesome to see that you're really focused on the data. You start with the data, let the data strategy inform, how your sales workflows are set up, how your email automations are set up. It's just great stuff. And it's exactly, what the fan data platform was designed for. And then also, the fan engagement piece that you guys are doing with the membership product is great. And you mentioned you don't have the world's biggest mobile user audience, which I think is a common theme across, a lot of teams that we work with. But, while data and the fan data platform we see as our core competency in our core business, we know that there's a need to beef up the fan engagement side of things. So we at FanThreeSixty have spent the last year or two kind of scouring the market, trying to find, who's going to really help us take fan engagement to the next level.